Hello and welcome back and Merry Christmas. I hope that yesterday, Christmas Day, was a day of joy and rest and relaxation for you. I know in this difficult time of COVID we can't always catch up with all the friends and the family that we have, but I hope that you are able to do so in the best of your circumstances. This Sunday, today, we celebrate the feast of the Holy Family, Mary, Joseph and Jesus. And in the readings that we have the first reading from the first book of Samuel and the second reading from the Gospel of Luke. In both of these readings we have pictures of two families with extraordinary children. In the first reading you have the family of Hannah, who conceives and gives birth to Samuel, the great prophet. And of course in the Gospel of Luke we hear the story of Jesus and Mary and Joseph going from Nazareth up to Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover when Jesus is about 12 or 13 years of age. We see again these two extraordinary children, Samuel and Jesus. And they come out of two families that, really are quite extraordinary too, but also ordinary. They are human beings. But one of the really important things about these families is that at the heart of each of them is worship. If we read the readings closely, we see that the interior focus of the family is worship of God, particularly centred around the temple. God is central in their life. He is a living member of the family. In fact, that's what makes families possible. When God is at the centre, then there is a true family. When God is not there, then there's not really the fullness of life there. There's not a true family there. So God is central to the reality of family. And at the heart of their worship is a relationship with God, a relationship of self-giving, of life-giving service. So we see that the parents of these two children, Samuel and Jesus, focus all of their attention on helping these children to grow in the knowledge of the Lord and to fulfill their God-given purpose, their vocation in life. They're both offered to God in the temple, Samuel and Jesus. They're consecrated, offered to the Lord. They're set apart for his service. And of course with Jesus, when he gets older, when he's an adult, he will conduct his very last days of teaching in this very same temple in Jerusalem, before he offers his life completely and totally to the Father for the sake of you and for the sake of me, for the sake of all of us. What is clear when we read these two readings is that these holy children, Samuel and Jesus, are brought to birth, they're brought to adulthood in holy families. They're both holy families, and to be holy simply means to be focused on the Lord. Today we celebrate the gift of family. That's what this feast is all about. Family isn't just about blood ties or simply about our basic social and ecclesial units, church units. Rather, family is about vocation. Family is about who we are most truly and deeply, who we're called to be, what we're called to be. As I said at the beginning, at the heart of family is the one indispensable member, God himself. And we are brought into God's family. We're his children of God by our baptism. It's through baptism that we become a child of God. And in becoming a child of God, just like Samuel and Jesus were brought to the temple and consecrated to the Lord, so are we. In baptism, we are consecrated to God. Just like Samuel, just like Jesus, we are meant to be set apart for the use of God, to do his will. We're meant to be people who image the family that is the Holy Trinity, Father, Son and Spirit. One God, three persons who infinitely and eternally give themselves totally to each other. This is family, this is love. And so we image that life of the Trinity that we enter into through baptism by being part of communities here on earth where we offer ourselves to each other in life-giving service. So ultimately, we see in this great feast, we see in the Holy Family of Joseph and Mary and Jesus, a community, a little community, at the heart of which is God. And so this community is centered around worship, a family of members who are willing to give of themselves for the sake of others. And so Mary and Joseph, their whole life is about helping Jesus to grow, nurturing him, helping him to come to deeper wisdom, to come to know his Father, to help him prepare for the mission that his Father has for him. They are a family of holiness, which gives birth to holiness. And this is our vocation too. We're meant to be holy people through the grace of God who nurture others and help them to respond to the grace of God and so be holy. So we're called to be that. Perhaps we don't attain such an ideal, but we keep striving to do so because that's who we really are. That's the true reality. That's who we're called to be. There may be people in your lives who have helped you come closer to God through their own holiness. They may not even realize it. But just as you have been influenced by them, so we too are called to influence others through our love, through our care, and when it's appropriate, through our teaching as well. You know, we may wonder a little bit at the behaviour of Jesus when he was 12 or 13 and in the temple, and he stays behind without telling his parents, and we think that's a little naughty perhaps. But we need to remember what's really going on here and the fact that Jesus is not simply a typical 13-year-old boy running away from home or getting himself lost because he gets absorbed in things. We need to remember that Jesus didn't come to earth in order to be simply Mary and Joseph's child. Just the opposite, really. Mary and Joseph came into earthly existence to prepare this boy, this Jesus, for his role as the adult son of the Father of all things. And so it is with our own children in our own families. It's a timely reminder that they're not possessions, they're cherished, they're our loved ones, and we want the best for them, but we don't own them. We're stewards. They are, if they're baptised, children of God. And so we are their stewards, where we help God to raise our children so that we can send them out as true grown-ups, as true human beings, or to put it better, to be mature representatives of who God is and of how God interacts with the world. For Mary and Joseph, Jesus was the whole story. He was the very heart of their family. May he be the very heart of your family, the very heart of your life. Let us join him. Let us join not only the Holy Family, but the great family of the Trinity, our eternal family. We do that by showing that God has the top priority in our lives. May this feast of the Holy Family be a graced one for you, and may God bless you.